born a Sikh and now a baptized Orthodox Christian. Let me tell you the story. The most interesting thing about this is that there was no real prior influence which would make me a Christian. There was nothing big that happened, or even small for a fact. So let me start when I was born. I was born to a Sikh family. My dad's Sikh, my brother's Sikh. However, my mum is an atheist. However, I never really fit into that myself. They tried raising me Sikh slightly. That didn't really work. So I was predominantly atheist the majority of my life. However, in September 2023, one night, I was an atheist, and I was atheist to the point where I would probably openly mock someone if they told me they was Christian. So I would be like, "Oh, you're stupid, man." But I would have been proven wrong if I had done that. But one night, from a staunchly atheist, and the next day, I woke up as a Christian. There was nothing prior to this, I must add. That there is nothing visible that set this in motion. But only by the grace of God, I converted. There is literally nothing more to it than me switching to atheist to Christian, to non-believer to believer. It just happened. By the grace of God, it happened. And this happens more than you would expect. There are a lot of people who just suddenly decided to become Christian, but this is what happened to me. And after that, there was a stage for around a year where I didn't really have any sort of guidance. I didn't really have any church background, and I was pretty much just a Christian who said, "Yeah, I'm with the faith, and I say a prayer every night," and that's about it really. However, that lasted for around a year, but then the Orthodox Christian TikToks came around. I was seeing on my For You page a lot of the based ortho type of stuff, which we know isn't great. However, that kind of set orthodoxy into my mind. I mean, it had always been an option for me. I don't really know where I found it in particular. However, orthodoxy was the place where I knew I wanted to be. However, those online kind of things set that plan into motion a lot more. And then I was on holiday with my parents again in summer of 2024, and I was probably wearing my mum and dad at this point, asking to go to church, and she said, "Fine, you can go when we get back." And that's when I started going to church. In my church, it was an absolutely beautiful place. This place was beautiful. And it's really fun because you see a lot of people with these really intellectual things, with these really emotional things, with these deep experiences, but then you just got me converted one day randomly and start going to church for no reason. There's no real special story here. Just a normal person became Christian one day. But then when I went into that church, I knew that was the place for me. A few months prior, I'd emailed the deacon, Deacon Cosmin, and then eventually I thought I would come, so I let him know. And then that week I came. It was beautiful. The community was beautiful, and the service was even more beautiful. And for anyone who's thinking about being Orthodox, I would say go to a service. You will not regret it. But it was an absolutely beautiful thing. It was. And ever since, I've had it staunch in my mind that I will always be Orthodox. There is no doubt in my mind with Orthodoxy. Nothing, there's no doubt. I would never be Catholic. I love my Catholic brothers and sisters, but I would never be Catholic. I love my Protestant brothers and sisters, but I would never be Protestant. Only Orthodox. And by the grace of God, I am now a baptized Christian. I was baptized last month. It was 3 weeks ago now, and now I took communion early today, which is I'm very blessed to say I have. However, my conversion story, it's rather a simple thing. You get so many different stories. You get some people on my end who just decide to come to church, who just converted randomly, and you got other people who who will spend years and years doing something which led them to God eventually. But at the end of the day, I don't really know why I converted, but it just happened. And that's all there is to it. But by the grace of God, I'm here now, and hopefully I'm your favourite content creator. Hopefully I'm your favourite Orthodox influencer, and now I'm helping people as much as I can here. And I also think this is why I'm here. I think my purpose in this life is to be doing what I'm doing right now, to be helping people out as much as I can, to be evangelical, to spread the word online and in person, obviously, and to be this person. I believe that is my purpose. Because that's the one thing which I've carried through me ever since I've been Orthodox. That was kind of just implanted into my conversion. I woke up one night Orthodox, or not Orthodox, but as a Christian. I've had this desire ever since then, and obviously in what would be around September, like a month or so before I started going to church, I started making those TikToks, and now I'm TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and I do these long form videos as well. It's really beautiful because I want to be doing this for a living. And also, if you don't mind me saying, I just want to do a little promo for my church fund. We are currently trying to raise 2 million so we can afford to buy a new building. I have a video on why you should give us some money, but I'll put the link in the description if you want to donate. Any amount is good. But thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. And also, if you want to give me your conversion stories in the comments, I'll be more than happy to read them all. Bye bye.